And we are back on 100.3 The Ride with more of the Farmers and Merchants Bank pregame show. We are sitting down here with Eagles head coach Ryan Mosier. Coach, you just finished up one heck of a practice and ran out of the storm, got about 10 minutes in of the practice before that started. How do you think that went today?
Hey, I actually talked to the guys. I was really happy about a sudden change. We had to go from outside to inside, and we locked in and got ready to go. And that's kind of how practice has been this week. So really happy with it, and we're excited, ready to go.
Now we'll start with last week. Obviously, we talked about it. You kind of almost gave it away a couple of times, but big rivalry win at home. What was kind of the overall message to the team, and how do you kind of juggle the, you won the game, but also,
Yeah, with that rivalry, it's something that's always going to be crazy, and it's always good to come out with the win against Goodland. And so that's kind of the message, was we still found a way to win, even though we had some mistakes at the end. And we're hoping to just get that cleaned up, and so we can play a complete game.
Is there some sort of benefit down the stretch of the season to having played in a close game?
Yeah, I tell you what, that last 3 minutes, it really felt like a playoff atmosphere. It was loud, it was crazy, there was people flying, all kinds of weird different personnel penalties and things like that. And so I was happy with the guys and how they did. But, we're excited to move on to the next week.
Now, this week, you got a tough road game coming up here. Thoughts about having, obviously, an out-of-district matchup, this late in the season?
It's always fun to go on the road late in the season. I know the kids are really excited to get to play on some turf, and Lakin's always a fun trip to take, and we know it's going to be a battle, so we got to be ready to roll.
Now, you said after last week's game that you told Casey, kind of be ready, we're going to need a big game from you. Is there anyone you're looking to this week to kind of elevate their game a little bit?
I think this week we're challenging up front. We're challenging the O-line. We need to be able to run the ball. I think we've got some ways that we can do that. But that was the biggest thing, is up front we need execution, and we need to get some people driven. So hopefully it works out that way.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, just a moment ago, putting together a complete game, right? All 4 quarters. Are there keys to kind of, coaching that effort out of the kids? Whistle the final tip, other way around.
You have to put them in those situations in practice. And so it was a little more competitive in practice this week. We gave them some down and distance, things like that. All around, this week's practice was based on that, and we got a really good response. So I'm happy.
Now your Eagles are 3-3 going down into Lakin. What will it take to secure a better record than last year with a win?
We're going to have to be physical up front and execute. I mean, that's every week, But hopefully we can travel, and defense travels all the time, and hopefully offense travels as well.
Fair enough. Thanks so much for taking the time, Coach. We will have more of the Farmers and Merchants pregame show all the way up to kickoff on 100.3 The Ride.